the sheep lion was dehypnotized and he realized, I am the real lion. And so bleating goes, roaring comes. That is fearlessness. Bleating means fear, isn't it? Full of fear. A sheep is full of fear. Adi Buddha. Dharmas means entities. Jiva, souls, objects, entities, all are called dharma in Buddhist and Vedantic terminology. All in this particular context. The other context is moral life. Ethical life is called dharma. Here dharma means entity. All entities, all souls, all are called dharmas. Then, Adi Buddha, we are ever awakened from the very beginning. That's our true nature. Unlike Christianity, you are from the beginning sinners. He can give you this alternative. Either say, I am very beginning sinners. Our Protestants brought the sin idea more seriously than the Catholics. Luther, oh, terrible sin and guilt. That Adam's sin sitting heavy on me and sense of guilt. Without this, there is no religion. That's their idea. We say, without this, there is no religion. I am ever pure. That's my true nature. Having known this truth, he rests, without seeking further knowledge. He is alone capable of realizing the highest truth. Yasyevam bhavati kshantihi. So, amrtatvaya kalpate. He alone becomes immortal. Then, all dharmas and jivas are from the very beginning, their very nature, all peace. Adishanta, all peace. Unborn and completely free. They are characterized by sameness and are non-separate from one another. We are essentially one from the very beginning. Therefore, the jivas are Atman, unborn, always established, sameness and purity itself. Those who always rely on separateness can never realize the innate purity of the self. One is separate from the other. You can never realize the innate purity of the self. Therefore, those who are drowned in the idea of separateness and who assert the separateness of entities are called narrow-minded or chicken-brained, as I use the word. I like this. Vaisharadyam tu vainasti Vede vicharatam sada Veda nimnaha pradhagvadaha Tasmate kripanas pratak. Kripana is the word we used in the beginning also. Kripana means a stingy person who pays only 1 or 2 cents with great difficulty. Though he has plenty, he just gives that kind of stingy mind. Those who have separateness idea, they are stingy mind. Very limited. A pinhole mind. That's all. I like that. Chicken-minded. Chicken-hearted often they say. But chicken-minded is a special language in Karnataka country. Murugi-headed, they call it. Murugi means a cock, a chicken. Murugi-headed fellows. All these, every one of these conflicts in society comes from this little mind. Big minds will never come into this kind of war and violence and conflict. So how to make big minds out of small minds? That is education. That is religion. But religion also encourages you to have little minds. What a misfortune. Religions have created more little minds than irreligion. Atheists are much more broad-minded than religious people. You see that? They only pray for you. Oh Lord, give to that man the light he has given to me. What? Hold his prayer. He cannot get his own light. Whatever light I have got, he must get it. Many people are praying like this in churches. That Protestant, give him that light which you have given to me, the Catholics. Everybody will pray. That's a chicken mind. They don't realize it. How can they? They are in a frog in the well. Can he realize what is in the sea? They're all frogs in the well. Let me tell you a little story. So Swamiji begins Chicago lecture in the middle. Why we disagree is the title of that section of the lecture. Then he said, let me tell you a little story. Then he begins the story of the frog in the well. The Hindu well, the Muslim well, the Christian well, the frog is there. Can't see anything bigger. Here, break all this. Those who have realized the truth regarding ultimate reality as described above are alone free from narrowness. You can see it in history. This realization alone makes for broad toleration, understanding. Everything else makes you kripana, narrow-minded, petty-minded. Others are verily narrow-minded, kripanas. Two words we have seen, Brahmana and Kripana. They always pit it against each other. When you are a Brahmana, your mind is infinite. Kripana, mind is narrow, small. It's not a caste Brahmana. Brahmana has achieved this infinite knowledge of Brahman. Others are all Kripanas, he says in the Vivekananda Upanishad. Who are they? Drowned in the idea of separateness, who stick to the idea of separation. Those who confine themselves to the multiplicity of phenomenal experiences. Who are they? They are those who assert that multiplicity of objects exists. They are the dualists. You see that? Therefore, it has been truly said, these people are narrow-minded. Then, in the Upanishad, there is a text. Compare. Whoever, O Gargi, Ajnavalkya Gargi conversation, Brihadaranyaka, last year you studied that woman who questioned Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya answers her. O Gargi, those who, without knowing this Akshara, this imperishable Brahman, offer oblations in the world, perform penance for 1,000 years, his work will have an end. Whatsoever, O Gargi, without knowing this Akshara, departs from this world, he is small-minded, narrow-minded. But he who, Gargi, departs from this world, knowing this Atman, he is a Brahmana. The other is a Kripana, this is a Brahmana. Two words come. Narrow-minded, broad-minded. That's it. They alone are said to be of the highest wisdom, who are firm in their conviction of the Atman, unborn. Ever they say, this ordinary men cannot understand. That is another thing. Their immense range. How can this puny fellow understand? Aje samme tu ye kechit bhavishyanti tu sunishitaha tehi loke mahatjnana. Again that word. Mahati, mahatjnana. Big knowledge. Expansive knowledge. They have it. Mahatjnana. Tacha loko nagahate. The ordinary people cannot understand. Ramakrishna tells that beautiful parable. A brinjal seller appraising a diamond. A man got a precious diamond. He wanted to know its value. First he took it to a brinjal seller. What do you think the value of this will be? Oh, it is fine. How much can you give me? 9 kgs of brinjals I can give you, he said. Is it all? Nothing more? No, nothing more. Then he went to a cloth merchant. He said, fine. He spoke in terms of his own business. 20 yards of cloth I shall give you. Like that. Finally, he went to a diamond merchant. He said, it is tremendous cost. $100,000 I shall give you. He understands the value of a diamond. What can a brinjal seller understand it? That is how human evaluation of great men as Socrates. What could the poor politicians in Athens understand his greatness? He is the corrupter of our youth, they said. Take poison and set him off. That most beautiful man, the most glorious man, was killed like this. Plato laments in the book afterwards. After that, Plato distrusted all democracy. These mobs. Government by mobs he called mobocracy. You can't appreciate greatness. This is supreme knowledge, incapable of being understood by the poor intellects, by the unwise. Persons of small intellect who are outside the knowledge of Vedanta is thus explained here. And there's a wonderful passage coming. Others, namely, persons of ordinary intellect, cannot understand their ways. That is to say, the supreme reality realized by the wise, these people cannot comprehend at all. It is said in the Smriti, even the gods feel puzzled while trying to follow in the footsteps of those who leave no track behind. Knowledge of Brahman means no track behind. Of those who realize themselves in all beings and who are always devoted to the welfare of all. They leave no track behind, like birds flying in the sky. They leave no track behind. The language it is. Buddha also uses this expression. Can you see where Buddha has gone? You can't. They leave no track behind. They are in you. They are in you. They are everywhere. And this is the way Shuka is described in the Bhagavatam, exact description. Sarvabhuta Hridayam Manim Anatosmi. I salute that sage who has no separate individuality. He lives in the heart of all. His father had realized great things, but not the highest. He knew that he was separate from others. But the son had realized himself one with all. So, son was going out, away from the house to become a monk, forest. Father is following him. My son, where are you going? Like that cry, like any father will. Then on the way, there was a river. Young women were bathing there, completely naked. First the father came, or first the son came. And the women never felt any. First the father came. Then on the way, there was a river. Young women were bathing there, completely naked. First the father came, or first the son came. And the women never felt any shame or shyness. They continued to bathe. And the boy went. A young man of 16 or 18 that time. Then the father came. Soon as they saw him, they went up, began to dress themselves. Then this man stopped. What is this wonderful thing that you have done? My young son, full of youth, you are never ashamed in his presence. I am an old man, and you are ashamed. Then the girl said, there is a truth in it, sir. Your son, though young, he has realized his oneness with all. He has no physical consciousness, a separate consciousness. You have a separate consciousness. We felt immediately a little modesty in your presence. These are all deep psychology. You can see Bhagavata is full of that. And based on this idea, when you realize that infinite, you are not an individual among individuals. Everybody feels one with you in your presence, because you are one with all. Very interesting. Tehi loke mahatjnana. They are the people with infinite knowledge, mahatjnana. But the world cannot comprehend that infinite knowledge. They understand only small bits. Knowledge, that is consciousness, the essence of the jivas. All jivas have consciousness as their essence. Non-causal, without birth. Is admitted to be itself unborn and unrelated to any external object. This knowledge is proclaimed to be unconditioned, as it is not related to any other object, which really speaking does not exist. Yatona kramate jnanam asangam tena kirtitam. What is the nature of that knowledge of infinite pure consciousness field? That's knowledge. And that is our nature. Tattvamasi means that you are not a little thing with a little knowledge. You are knowledge itself. That is your true nature. The slightest idea of variety in the Atman, entertained by the ignorant, bars their approach to the unconditioned. The destruction of the veil covering the real nature of the Atman is out of the question for such people. All dharmas, that is jivas, are ever free from bondage and pure by very nature. Alabdhavarana sarve dharma prakti nirmalaha adav buddha. They are ever illumined from the very beginning and liberated from the very beginning. Still the wise speak of the jivas as capable of knowing the ultimate truth. From the relative point of view, we say, yes, you have something to learn, something to know, try to know. But we know you are ever free, that infinite Atman. Ramakrishna said, I see all of you as Narayanas. Mother has shown me, you are all Narayanas. That is his vision. Upanishad also said the same thing. The knowledge of the wise one, who is all light, is ever untouched by objects. All the entities as well as noble, which are non-different, are also ever untouched by any object. This is not the view of the Buddhists. They did not say positively this view. They only denied all this illusory nature of all experiences. They did not positively say this is the self-effulgent truth, is the Atman, the nature of all. Kramatena hi buddhasya jnanam dharmesha tayinaha sarve dharmas tatha jnanam naitad buddhena bhashitam, he says. In Buddha's teaching, so far as books are concerned, this positive teaching is not there. But that is what he meant according to the understanding of all people. Having, this is the last verse, having realized that condition, that is knowledge of the supreme reality, which is extremely difficult to be grasped, profound, birthless, always the same, all light, free from multiplicity, we salute this great state again and again as best as we can. We salute that state, the Mount Everest of experience. Petty little hills here and there. Finally you come to Mount Everest. Wonderful, majestic. They salute you. The language. Durdarsham, difficult to see or realize. Adhigambhiram, majestic, infinitely majestic, like the ocean, you can say. Ajam Samya, unborn, equal, Visharadam, pure and clear. Buddha Padam Ananatvam, realizing the state of non-separateness. We salute it again and again. If salutation is possible, he says. Namaskurmo Yathabala, according to our strength, we salute. The treatise is now completed, Shankara says. This salutation is made with a view to extolling the knowledge of supreme reality. In the beginning we said, the yoga of the untouched, Asparsha yoga, that is concluded now. What a gigantic experience it is. It is extremely difficult to understand it. In other words, it is difficult of comprehension as it is not related to any of the four possible predicates as existence, non-existence, existence, non-existence, absolute non-existence. None of these predicates can apply there. It is profound. It is very deep, like a great ocean, the Pacific Ocean, 40,000 feet deep, like that, you know. Ordinary only, like your pot only, 6 inches deep. That's all. This is Adhigambhira. People devoid of discrimination cannot fathom it. This knowledge, jnana, is further birthless, always the same, and all luminous, ever luminous. Having attained this knowledge, which is free from multiplicity, having become one with it, we salute it. Though this absolute knowledge cannot be subjected to any relative treatment like salutation, he says, yet we view it from the relative standpoint, adore it to the best of our ability. That's a wonderful way of putting it, you know. You can't make any salutation to this thing. But we treat it as apart from me for the time being and salute it. That's all. That's the idea. Here ends Gaudabodha's Mandukya Upanishad Karika, says the book. Om, peace, peace, peace. Shanti, shanti, shanti.